Hello again, YouTube. It's Skylar. Welcome back to my face. And today I'm doing a follow-up to a previous video that I made, which is voice training for transgender women. Now, in the box below, I did put a link to the previous video in case that you have not watched that one yet. And this follow-up is going to be about more of mannerisms, because body language is just as important as verbal speech, and that constitutes a lot of what it means to be feminine when you're presenting yourself. So, when it comes to mannerisms, there's a couple distinctive differentiations between male and female that you may or may not have noticed. One of the biggest things that I've been aware of is the way that men and women shake someone's hand is completely different. Now, typically all men shake the same way, I'm pretty sure, which is full palm grip, very tight, strong, and it's usually, you shake their hand. Women, on the other hand, I've noticed, shake hands more daintily, less vigorous, and typically usually only shake someone's hands with their fingers rather than the full palm. So just little things to keep in mind. Another big one is the way that you sit down. So if you are a transgender woman and you plan on being in public, it's probably best to get acquainted with how women naturally sit when they're sitting, which is with their legs crossed and their feet generally pointed away from their body. Don't do this to an extreme because you're going to make it very strange. Another common thread is having one leg over the other. If you're not as flexible, probably just best to stick with your legs collapsed. Now, I'm not going to go into the cultural stuff of, well, women shouldn't blah, 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 because that's not what this video is about. It's for educational purposes for trans women, and that's it. So, other things to keep in mind is that women generally have more expressive body language than men do. So typically you'll see a lot more hand motion and more of undulation of tone. So when you're trying to emphasize a certain word, you're going to put more stress into the end of it rather than just sort of monotone throughout. Men typically, when they're trying to stress a point, will just inflect the entire sentence rather than key specific words. But this isn't this is just a general rule. It's not an overlapping thing for everybody, but it's something that I've noticed, which is that for like cisgender women, there'll be a lot more emphasis on particular words, such as like, oh, did you know? Like, men typically don't say things as a question when they're trying to make a statement. Typically, if you're trying to pass as a cisgender woman, you're going to want to annotate your voice to sound more as if you're presenting a sentence as a question rather than a statement, if that makes sense. You want to put the emphasis into the conclusion rather than the beginning of it. And I know that's really confusing. I study a lot of etymology and grammar because I'm a nerd, but that's usually the way that women present dialogue. And again, this isn't a hard, fast rule. This is just what culture has evolved over time as ways that we've assigned gender to things that are not necessarily gender related. So if that at all was helpful, just keep in mind that there are more subtle differences. The best way to practice these, I've found, is to just listen to how cisgender women talk and try to emulate that in the most natural sounding way. I've learned obviously a lot, but I still don't know everything. But like I said in the previous video, practice makes perfect. Definitely keep in mind different hand motions. There's a lot of feminine body language that men don't usually take on when they're talking. So I hope that information was helpful for you today. And I will see you all tomorrow in the next video. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. I love you all so much. You help me out so much and keep this channel going. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.